listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast double upload week. We are in rare form. I have since been to the doctor since our last episode. My Osprey rant took all of the energy I had left out of me. But today, we're looking toward the weekend, the final stop before the road to WrestleMania. We've got a Raw review to talk about. Then we've got predictions, maybe some thoughts about where things lead out of WrestleMania going towards the future, like towards SummerSlam. I have a sinus infection. Bear with me. I may be a little nasally, but the man, he is the perfect bill of health, the historian of the Scoop Slam podcast. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, we finally made it. We're down the road from WrestleMania. Been driving for a while. And a lot of speed bumps along the way. Had to get gas a couple times. And since our last episode, you are a year older too, Micah. Just want to take time to say happy birthday to Mr. Scoop over here. And man, let's just talk about some wrestling. Talk about a little WrestleMania in particular.
Well, I do appreciate it. 24 years young, and I truly felt it. The night before, I bent down and my knee crunched, and then the next morning, I was in the doctor's office, so I got the full experience.
Your Kobe year, huh? 24.
Yeah, Kobe year should be fun.
There you go.
But we'll see what happens. 2023 was good to me, especially with the growth of the podcast. I'm looking forward to what this year has for us on the podcast, and we're looking forward to WrestleMania this weekend. But before we get there, we had Raw this past week. Just a couple quick hitters. Obviously, we just talked about the segments here, ladies and gentlemen, because let's get these pesky matches out of the way.
Yeah, matches. We'll watch that.
So to start us off, we're going to start with the Seth Rollins-Gunther interaction here. I thought that the individual material might not have been the most, like, you have to go out of your way to, see what happened. But I thought they did an excellent job of making this interesting between the time that they had to build it. You know what I mean? Because we were about 3 weeks away from Mania, and everybody's like, what the heck is the plan for Gunther? What's going to happen with Seth? Obviously, with Braun's injury. And to me, they just threw this in the microwave and got it scorching hot this week. Because it feels real in the sense that it's not, it's not guys being mad about their friends or, something that some big storyline. It's two guys that have a difference of opinion of where their spot on the card is. I know I'm better than you, and I'm going to prove it. And it's not really like an inspirational, like, I want you at your best. No, it's we're getting it here, we're duking it out, and I'm proving to you and everyone else that I'm the better man.
Oh, when Gunther fired up on Seth, when he gave him that little headbutt, that was some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, good improv. And
Yeah.
I think, you could immediately tell it kind of locked Seth in too.
It did, yeah. He got away from the, Mr. Chuckles over there, and he locked in, and it was intense, man. Back and forth. Didn't overstay his welcome. It was quick. Didn't have to be a 10, 15-minute pull-apart brawl. Gunther didn't take 20 minutes to get to the ring. I no complaints here. I thought it was pretty good. 1 week build. Yeah. I don't care. It's like one of the top 5 matches I'm looking forward to over that weekend.
Yeah. It kind of, to me, feels reminiscent of like Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels.
Ooh, that's a good comparison.
Just because, yeah, I mean, in the same way, it was just two guys that were like, all right, who's better? And put your dukes up. And I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we have not been the biggest fans of Seth in the past. But like you said, when he drops the Mr. Chuckles and the catchphrases, he is, he can turn it on.
Yeah, hopefully Gunther can get Seth into a classic WrestleMania match, because I don't think Seth has had a classic WrestleMania match. Can you think of one? Or
well,
being casual here?
Do we include the one with The Rock a couple years ago? It was a tag match.
I'm talking about one-on-one. One-on-one.
Randy?
It's,
Maybe. I mean, I don't know about
I don't.
classic, but that's a good
Yeah.
match.
I think it's a good match. It had a great finish, but I don't think he's had a classic one-on-one WrestleMania match because he has had good matches at WrestleMania. Like you said, the tag match with Rock. They had a triple threat match with Seth, Finn, and The Miz. Funny enough, I think that was 34, but that was a good match. Uh,
Him and Cody at 38 was pretty solid,
that
but
was
it
okay.
wasn't
Yeah,
classic.
that was good, but that wasn't their best match. I think they
Yeah.
had better matches after that. His match with Logan, was that WrestleMania or was that SummerSlam? I think that was WrestleMania.
I think it was WrestleMania. Good, not great.
Yeah, it was good. It was fine, but I think him and Gunther could tear the house down. That could be that
Yeah.
classic WrestleMania match that you look back on.
Yeah. Somehow Gunther has made Seth interesting to me, so I'll give him props. I am looking
Gun-
forward to it. We'll kind of
Gunther's so
break it
good.
down.
He's so good. He
Oh
is
yeah.
truly the Nikola Jokic of the WWE.
Yeah, I mean he's got the full utility belt. Whatever you need him to
Yeah,
do, you need to plug and play him here, he's got it.
yeah.
And
Promos, in ring.
and it's hard to explain because I got a friend of mine that's he's just kind of a casual fan and he just don't like Gunther. He just don't get it. And I'm like, man, what can you not like I can understand if you like to hate Gunther, but you just don't like Gunther, like that don't make sense to me. He can do everything you need.
Well,
He's
a lot of the work rate fans are they like the flips and the constant moves. And Gunther, he's not going to give you a match like that.
oh no. This is a cinema fan.
I was a cinema fan. Well, maybe he just watches the clips, pal, and he don't watch the matches.
I guess that could be true.
Yeah.
Uh but speaking of watching the clips, we've got probably the most viewed clips of the entire WrestleMania build, which has been the clips between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. And one thing that we've been clamoring for, and I've heard other people clamor about, is we want to hear Oba on the mic. We want to hear what Oba has to say. If you've seen him in NXT, we all know he can be that guy on the mic as well. And this week we actually got it. They had separate contract signings, which to me made sense. Obviously last week they tried to do it, got into a big pull apart in the main event segment of Raw.
Hold up, Mike. I think they're listening because we brought up this word for word. We said, hey, they didn't give Oba some time on the mic. They did that. And then we said, well, we got to have another contract signing because we didn't get that last week. And then they did it. So somebody's listening over there.
Well, they should pick up some other things too. Needless to say, considering how the rest of this WrestleMania build has been, but yeah, I thought they did it in a good way, especially to like open the show with that, and then you keep the fans wanting more. You keep, okay, when are they going to bring Oba out? Because I think I was looking forward more to Oba's part once I saw the opening part because I'm like, maybe they'll let Oba say something, and they did here. I thought he had a really solid first promo. I think as much wrestling as I have seen over the years, I think I could tell Oba got a little long-winded, maybe, but he still landed the plane, and I thought he had some good lines in there. Because like while he's going through his promo, I'm thinking like, man, I want him to nail the line of like, you may be the conqueror, but I'm the ruler you can't conquer. And then he said that line. And I thought the fans were with him the whole way. They obviously loved the dance, but even just during the promo, I mean, it was
Hey, now
nothing.
whoa, that's not a dance there, pal. That's a Nigerian march, I'll have you know. What the Nigerians do before war and battle. You just call it a little dance. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stand corrected.
Yeah, how dare you?
The people like it. The people want what they
The
want.
people do. They do like the little shuffle. They
Yeah.
do.
And
Don't act like you wouldn't do it at the show.
oh no, I would 100%. I've done it on TikTok. I'll probably
Yeah,
do
I've
it on
seen it.
stream.
You gonna do it on stream?
I
If
might do
Oba
it on the
wins, you do it
stream.
on stream. You gotta give me that. Give me the promise right now. Oba wins,
All
you do
right.
it on stream.
I might do it even if he don't win. I might just do it when he comes out anyways. I'll do the
You do a
kick and
sad
all.
version. You gotta do a sad version if he loses.
Oh man. Just do it. Just do it getting out of the camera. I don't want to watch this anymore. Oh man. But no, in all seriousness, I thought it was a really solid showing, and it gives me faith that they are gonna give him the keys. Obviously, we gotta land the plane. We gotta get Oba the win at WrestleMania, but we'll give our official predictions later. How did you feel about it, Ryan?
I thought it was natural what he was saying. It sounded like it was really him. It didn't sound like anybody was writing for him. And the intensity, Micah, that's just something that not a lot of guys have in this day and age of professional wrestling. And Oba has it. I thought this was one of his best promos that he's cut, especially because of the stakes behind the promo and who was standing right behind him, Micah, his boss, Triple H. So you gotta be feeling like you're on top of the world if you're cutting a promo like that with your boss right behind you. And it just he kind of reminds me of like a mix of a CM Punk and a Roman Reigns, Micah. He has the aura of Roman and maybe the trash talk of a CM Punk. I'm seeing dollar signs, man. Just I'm with you. I'm willing to change my answer because at first I thought Brock it wouldn't hurt if Brock won, but now I'm all in. Oba has to win this. Oba will win this, and he will beat CM Punk at SummerSlam for that world title. I'm calling it right now.
I think he's got to. I don't think there's any. Don't involve him in the mid card. Make him an Undertaker. Just keep him right
Did,
where he's at.
did you hear who his favorite wrestler is, Micah?
I did. When we were on the way to Orlando, I listened to that whole interview. Good answer. Good
Yeah.
answer, Oma.
Go ahead, tell the people in this case they didn't hear it.
Well, he said his favorite wrestler of all time was Triple H. Now, I don't know how true that is. I don't know many people I've met in real life that said their favorite wrestler was Triple H, but
He
good
said Punk
answer,
too
my
in
friend.
other interviews too. So he's under some good learning trees if they're taking them under his wing or taking
Yeah.
him under their wing, I should say.
And like you said, to do the to immediately be thrust into one of the biggest spots on the card. Whoever is
Oh,
facing
yeah,
Brock is in a big spot.
yeah.
To do it this well, to get over this fast, and like you said, with all the pressure on you in the world, you had the main event segment last week. You've got a segment with your boss Triple H in the ring. You're across from Paul Heyman, one of the greatest promos of all
and
time.
and this is your first real promo since you've been on the main roster with a live mic, and you have one shot. This is it. This is you get 1 week to spill your guts, and he knocked it out the park. It's crazy,
Yeah.
man. Insane.
So I'm hoping that we've just been conditioned from years of Vince booking that the writing on the wall says, well, Oba got a lot of upper hands in this, and Brock really hadn't got the upper hand. So that means Brock has to win. I'm really hoping that that's not the case, and we're just, our brains are what's the word I'm looking for here? Poisoned by that. And so instead, it's just they're actually trying to get a guy over. And I think with the way that they have built this feud, I think if Brock also wasn't down to play ball and put a guy over, then it wouldn't have the cards wouldn't have fallen this way. You know what I mean? I don't think Brock would be
Yeah,
willing to do the things that he did.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
But we'll make official predictions later. We move on to the main event segment here, and this was the final face-to-face between Roman Reigns and CM Punk
Oh,
after CM Punk cut
was this a therapy
arguably,
session?
well, you heard what AJ said when she came back.
Yeah, therapy.
Got a chant for it too. So after CM Punk cuts this just promo of the year last week, we get Roman aura farming his way to the ring as per usual. Punk comes out, kind of aura farms through the fans, and then just I'm sorry for saying that about Sika, and I'm actually jealous of you, and no, I'm actually jealous of you. Like,
And he used that line too, Micah, where he cut one of his best promos that he's ever cut in AEW. To tell me when I'm telling lies. So I thought he was about to lay into Roman, but then he just proceeded to, I don't know, give fellatio to Roman live on air. And then Roman said, I feel like Roman took back what he said and basically apologized and said how envious he was that CM Punk has the fans behind him and the fans chanted his name for 10 years even after he left. And Roman wishes he had that connection with the fans, and he basically ended the interview like he ended that first one with "I hate you" or something to that effect. And I, Michael, what'd you think of this?
I just felt like this was a week 2 promo in the last week of WrestleMania build. You know what I mean? Like, this was maybe after you get the first promo where he's like, I hate you. This is the second promo.
That
Then
peak
the
right
next
there.
week you get the one where, oh well, I hate Sika. You're not I hate Sika, but I'm gonna bury you next to your father, I should say.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go from there, you get your brawls, you get the pipe bomb. But like it also pisses me off because you got the cold open to the show, which was with Roman. And I felt like that was some of the best work he had done, other than the weird, this message has been approved by your tribal chief. Uh, but then today we got a clip out on Twitter or X or whatever name you want to go by now. And Roman
Truth
just
Social. Was he on there?
true. Oh God. Well, he might be considering some of his
Oh, come on
endorsements,
now. Oh,
but
come on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump in there. Go ahead.
well, either way, he dropped about a 2-minute video, and it was like the best thing he said out of the whole program. It took me back to The Rock at WrestleMania 40. So my thing is, man, like, and we talked about this before the show, Tuesday night before we did Dynasty. I said I feel like this program has hurt Roman in the all-time
Yeah.
rankings to me because this was it right here. Like this was the biggest one-on-one program that I think Roman had left. I'm not saying that there isn't anything later, maybe with like Oba, but like when you look at the roster, who's the one guy that he never had a big one-on-one program with, and it's CM.
Yeah.
Probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest promo of all time. How do you go out there and have this many stinkers? So I don't know, man. Like, why can he do it in these clips, but it can't translate in the ring?
Let me ask you. Let me just throw it back at you, Micah. Do you think the reason they're giving you this stuff on online and pre-taped is because that Roman can't do this live and in front of everybody, in front of all the people? He can't be on that CM Punk level? Are you thinking that's the case?
I mean, I'm not gonna rule it out, I guess, but it just doesn't make sense to me because we've seen him have kind of off the cuff remarks. Like, just think about the
Has he?
stuff like during the bloodline, or even like when remember that stupid line we always quote, you know, when he's talking about Seth, get this bum out of here, like stuff
Uh,
like that, like that's kind of
oh,
off the cuff. That just didn't happen with this program.
is it because Roman, without the bloodline, without the tribal chief stuff, maybe he's just not as talented as a promo we thought he was, and he had to lean on the crutch of Paul Heyman and the Usos and Sami Zayn. The whole bloodline storyline was catered around his strengths, and he didn't have to do too much winding talking promo segments. So maybe that hid a lot of his weaknesses. Micah, you think that's the case?
I mean, it very well could have. It's just I don't understand that. Why can you do it? Like, what would the difference be? Because also, like, remember when he would like, I always remember the one where he's walking out of the ring. I think it was like to close SmackDown, maybe when he was feuding with Logan Paul, and he was like, you know, nobody can touch my button. Stuff like that. Like, that's off the cuff. If you can do it then, why can you not do it now across the ring from Punk? Or is Punk, you know, tell me when I'm telling lies, is the magnitude of him too much for people to handle out there?
I think the only one that could handle a real CM Punk scathing back and forth promo, probably MJF. The Rock held his own, Cena. But
Drew?
other than that, Drew, yeah, Drew did some great stuff. Other than that though, I don't know if anybody's on that Punk level. And I thought Roman was before this program, but it's kind of opened my eyes a little bit to the current state of Roman Reigns. It's just the spark of the bloodline just isn't there anymore.
Yeah. And I think that has translated to all members of the bloodline
Oh
because,
man, yeah.
you know,
All in
Sammy's
Solo.
getting hate,
Solo.
Jay, Solo, like the whole family
Well,
to
everybody
me,
loves
outside
Jimmy.
of maybe,
Everybody loves
well,
Jimmy.
yeah, but you know, like Jay's solo push is kind of done. They're back to being a tag team.
Yeah.
Sammy is just aforementioned, just hated.
Now getting
Um,
booed out the building.
Jacob Fatu is probably the only one, and he wasn't even. I
He,
mean, he was
nah, he
loosely
wasn't.
associated.
He wasn't part of the OG bloodline. He was part of Solo's bloodline.
Yeah, so I just feel like you know we're what 3 years removed now, two sort of. I feel
They had
like
a great
it's
run, man. The
yeah,
car's out of gas. The car is out of gas. They drove that bloodline thing into the ground. And I mean, they got everything they could out of the storyline. It was probably one of their best storylines they've done, but now it's over.
yeah, and I need to see Roman personally for me to be moved. I need to see the Roman that you see in the back cutting promos in the arena. I don't understand why the two can't correlate, but until then, like you said, I feel like my eyes have been open to some of the criticisms. And when I see segments like the three-way promo segment, I think before WrestleMania 40 they had with Seth, Punk, and Drew, and they go for all the low-hanging fruit in that segment, and it was top tier, you know, from everybody, one of the best promos of the year. And then when I see this, it's just I don't believe that Roman wasn't allowed to say certain things. I just think that maybe he on the fly isn't, you know, to that level of them. And it sucks, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Roman might not be as high as I thought he was all time.
And especially when he's not going to be around as much, you can't rely on the long 20-minute entrances and do the tired bloodline catchphrase of acknowledge me. It just doesn't work anymore. And you come out there and you don't say much. He basically just Does he come out there just look smacks, Micah? Does he come out there to frame Mog? Is that what he's doing? Is
That's
that his whole gimmick now?
essentially
Is that his gimmick?
he's just Samoan clavicular.
So okay. Yeah, man. CM Punk, he did what he could do in this whole build up. I'll I don't blame Punk. I think the blame goes first. It goes to the WrestleMania long layoff that we had. Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania, entirely too long, and just them. The creative just got lost along the way, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't I'm not gonna say you know what it honestly reminds me of?
What's that?
You know the Stone Cold like Rock build. I want to say it was before the was it Survivor Series when they had the it was Team WWF and like basically
Versus
the
Team
go home
Alliance.
promo. Yeah, and the go home promo I think was like Stone Cold and The Rock singing Margaritaville,
No.
which is an all-time clip. Like that they made it work because they're two all-timers and I think that segment was better than the segment we got here. But
Oh
it
man.
kind of felt like that where it's just the plot was completely lost and this was not what you want to hear. Like when you think about it, these guys are singing Margaritaville and guys' jobs are on the line at the pay-per-view that Sunday. And then when you think about it, like you want to see these two guys fight at WrestleMania, and instead they're apologizing to each other before. Same with like Cena and Cody before SummerSlam last year. It's like
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see these
That's
guys
done.
fight. They're gonna hug it out. Like
Yeah, that's done. Do you think that there's maybe a tug of war backstage with creative going on throughout this whole build, or we just
oh
coping?
yeah,
We just caping up for Triple H here, Micah.
I think it's very evident. There's a tug of war. Maybe like I won't say necessarily with this feud, but the Cody Randy stuff to me is
Well, no,
very
no,
evident.
no, because Pat McAfee's involved in the CM Punk feud indirectly now.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
They even in the cold open, they had they actually put in the package of McAfee calling out Punk about the apologizing to Saudi Arabia thing.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that direction. I don't want to get on a tangent. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little more when we actually go through the predictions. But if you're gonna do that, I wouldn't you have to do a heel turn with Punk at that point? But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I and like again, I was hopeful because of the cold open. Because I was like, okay, this is like real. You know what I mean? Like he's bringing up the hypocrisy and
Yeah.
then it just went nowhere. But we got somewhere to go and that's the official WrestleMania 42 predictions. We'll go ahead and run them down, Ryan. I'll start with you and
You don't
then
want to go through a little Hall of Fame first?
oh well, yeah, we can talk about the Hall of
Talk,
Fame as well.
yeah, we talk about a little. We'll go through that quick. Hit that quick.
And we won't be doing any type of review necessarily on this, but we do want to give a shout out to the inductees this year. Um, for the individuals, we have Stephanie McMahon. She will be inducted by The Undertaker, which I think is kind of a funny choice. I figured Triple H may induct her, but then again, you know, maybe a little different because it's husband and wife, and he's obviously the figurehead. So, but yeah, Ryan, Stephanie McMahon making it into the Hall of Fame. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like she deserves a spot?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she deserves a spot, but I'm not sure about the headline spot here.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, like you said, Undertaker and inducting her is a little weird. Was Shane not available? Linda? Well, yeah, no, Linda ain't gonna get involved. But
Vince?
I think,
No, no Vince.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's deserved. Stephanie was a good TV character. Maybe she got a little full of herself towards the end there, with nobody ever getting an upper hand on her. But yeah, it's deserved, man. I like Stephanie as a GM authority
Yeah.
figure at times.
And she was a very like you kind of love to hate her as well. Um and she plays a very pivotal role between the late Attitude Era and the early Ruthless Aggression, and
What's
then even
what's your
towards the
favorite?
late PG into reality era stuff with the Authority.
What's your favorite era of Stephanie? Like the the McMahon Helmsley era in like 2000s. You like the Authority in like the 2010s. You like the before she was McMahon Helmsley, she was just the boss's daughter. Which era was your favorite, Micah?
Nah, I always was partial to the McMahon Helmsley part. I thought, little Micah had a huge crush on McMahon Helmsley era Stephanie McMahon. So I just thought she was very, she was the perfect valet. Like, there's so many factors into why you would hate her. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's the boss's daughter, and she's with
And
Triple H, and then she went to Chris Jericho, so now she's just like a gold digger. So it was a masterful heel work, if you ask me.
it did, and it got Triple H to that next level to being a main eventer during that
Yeah,
storyline. But let me tell you something, that 02, 03 Stephanie, that right there, peak. Let me tell you,
yeah.
roll tide. Like, she got me through some rough times back in the day, man. Let me tell you that.
I'm telling you, she's up there all time in that regard for sure. But congratulations, Stephanie McMahon, on being inducted in the Hall of Fame. Following that, a guy that you knew, if there was such a thing as a first ballot Hall of Famer in this business, he would be one. AJ Styles going into the Hall of Fame immediately after retiring at Royal Rumble this year. Two-time WWE champion, one-time IC champion, three-time US champion, two-time tag champion, and plenty of accolades to list outside of WWE as well. Right now he has no inducted or in
What?
uh,
Nobody's
uh,
inducting him?
well, I'm sure somebody is, but right now it's TBA. Do you have
It's
any
Undertaker again.
predictions maybe? Oh God.
Uh, for AJ, well, Cena will be there that weekend. I think Cena's probably AJ's best rival in WWE. I wouldn't hate John Cena doing the induction if he's available that Friday night.
Do you think they would call in like a Carl Anderson maybe?
Yeah, actually, now that you just said it, yeah, I think those guys are good storytellers too. So I think they could steal the show up there. Luke Gallows and Carl.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good prediction. I like that.
And obviously, like I said, AJ, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the GOATs. I hate that it is over. It doesn't feel like it should be. But I don't know. For some reason, call it a prediction. I feel like his is gonna be a tearjerker because he is old enough to retire. But like when you actually see him up there, you're gonna think about so many more things that he could be involved with. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like him and Oba Femi could have told a great story and had good matches, and Trick Williams and Javon Evans and Leon Slater whenever he comes over. Like all these guys that you just see 4 to 5 star classics with AJ, and you're not gonna get it. So, happy tears that he is retiring at an age where he's not falling apart, but also, selfishly, you do kind of wish you still had him.
it almost doesn't feel real that he's stepping away, but maybe it'll set in when he finally gets inducted on Friday. You think
Yeah.
there's any shot we get a Dixie Carter sighting in Vegas?
Oh, not on the
Any shot,
official
Mike?
TV program.
They'll show her. Little pan. They
Maybe,
they like to pan through the crowd and show who's sitting down. I'm sure
maybe
they'll
if
show
they've
her.
got her Maybe if they got some clips from TNA, which I'm sure they will.
Oh man, you want the Claire Lynch clips? Do you remember that storyline with Claire Lynch?
Maybe vaguely. The name sounds familiar.
Where she was having an affair with AJ and she had a baby with AJ or something to that effect.
Do vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
What the heck?
We'll move on. We'll move on.
But following that, we've got a tag team induction of Axe and Smash
About time.
Demolition.
About time, man.
Yep, three-time and longest reigning WWF Tag Team Champions, I believe, until the Usos, but don't quote me on that. Or maybe until Paul London and Brian Kendrick. But as of right now, they have no person inducting them as well.
Well, they were the longest running WWE Tag Champions until the New Day beat it. But then the New Day's reign got beat by the Usos. So, yeah, man, it was a long time coming. I think it took so long because they were involved in some class action lawsuits against the company. I think it was had something to do with like concussions or something to that effect. But yeah, I'm just glad that both guys are still here and both guys get to be a part of the Hall of Fame ceremony, getting their flowers because they were a big deal in the '90s. You ask any old school WWF fan from like that '80s, '90s era, you ask them what their favorite tag team, most people are gonna say Demolition. It's just, I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. So long overdue. Congrats to those guys, and I'm sure the speech would probably be a tearjerker too with them.
Yeah. And I'm sure, it's always, when you see the older guys like that, it's always nice to see them when they actually are there to be appreciated, because we're going to talk about two guys that are getting inducted and are not able to be with us, obviously. And that can kind of move us on. The legend, for many reasons, but one of my favorite things is just the fact that nothing came over those softball tournaments. Psycho Sid, Sid Justice, Sid Vicious, whatever you want to call him, he is going in the legacy wing. Um, I believe I've seen pictures that his son will be there as a recipient. I don't know if he'll have any type of speech or anything, but yeah, Psycho Sid going in the Hall of Fame. As far as his accolades, two-time WWF champion, two-time WCW champion, and one-time WCW United States champion.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer too. Eh, Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, whatever he went by, wherever he went, Micah, he was a top star. He always had a great look. He always got himself over, and his promos were intensity personified. He probably was a pain in the ass backstage because he jumped around from company to company so much, and he had to get his softball tournaments in. But yeah, man, this is long overdue as well. I wish he was here with us to get the induction, but better late than never. And yeah, congrats to the family of Sid, and I'm excited to see the promo package for him. I'm sure it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. One of my favorite Sid like memories is when I was going back through my Attitude Era watch through at Survivor Series, him and Sean, and he went in the feud as the heel. And by the end of it, like by Survivor Series, the fans loved him so much. They were just cheering him on, hoping he would win. And like in the end, I want to say he cheats because he what does he do? He does something with Jose Lothario and
Yeah, he grabs the camera to one of the cameramans, and while Jose is having a quote unquote heart attack on the floor after he caused it, he hit Shawn Michaels with the camera and pinned him, and the Garden went insane for this whole sequence because they didn't want nothing to do with Shawn, and they
no.
wanted Sid. They wanted Sid to take that title from him, and he gave him what they wanted, and he played into it too. He became the babyface that night.
So and then went on to headline WrestleMania 2 with
He
Undertaker. So
he had one of the most gruesome leg break injuries like ever in pro
Oh yeah,
wrestling. Did you ever seen that?
yeah, horrible.
It was like what was like '01 on like a pay-per-view for WCW. He just tried to do a random move from the second rope, he being Sid. And he jumps off and he snaps his leg in half.
Yeah,
And that pretty much that ended his career right then and there. He never got back to the main shows, and then WCW shut down. And I believe he had one more match on WWE television, and that was during the lead up to Raw 1000. Do you remember this, Micah, where he came out and had a match with Heath Slater?
I do because he
Yeah,
actually looked pretty well, for
he
his
did. He looked
age.
good. He looked good, and he was over too when he came out there.
Yeah, because I think at the time he was only like 52.
Like Jericho's age, huh? Actually, he was
Yeah,
younger than Jericho.
isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah.
So, yeah, rest in peace, Sid Vicious, but welcome to the Hall of Fame. Following that, another legacy addition is Bad News Brown, 1976 Olympic bronze medalist, two-time Pan American Games gold medalist, and four-time Stampede Wrestling North American heavyweight champion.
I don't, call me a casual here, Micah, but I don't remember Bad News Brown doing much in the WWF in the 80s. I think most of his like big stuff was before WWF, like in Stampede and other promotions like that. I, I can't recall Bad News Brown doing anything memorable. I mean, shout out him. He's getting the Hall of Fame nod. I don't mean to disrespect him like this, but I'm just not familiar with his game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not super up to date on him. Um, I think it was also just kind of the down years. It was the late 80s, kind of into like early 90. Um, but I think his real heyday was the territories, Stampede, and maybe the WWF a little bit. But admittedly, I'm not, very knowledgeable, but I have always heard his name thrown around. And
He's
to be a
he's got
black
a pretty cool
wrestler in
name.
the 80s, what'd you
Yeah,
say? I'm sorry.
I was saying he's got a pretty cool name. The name always passed the test,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's the only thing I remember him for.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say is he was one of the only black wrestlers in WWF in the 80s. So for that, obviously a trailblazer in that regard because I think it was really him, JYD, and I feel like there's one more I'm missing.
Yeah, Coco.
Coco, yeah. But it definitely was not a long list.
S at SD Jones. I'll have you know. Don't disrespect the name of
Yeah,
Special Delivery Jones. He was part of the first WrestleMania match.
that's true.
Yeah, he got squashed.
Mm, well, you know why.
No Lesnar involved in this one, folks. Can't blame
Yeah.
him.
But we move on. Congratulations to Bad News Brown. We got the celebrity wing, five-time NBA champion, the greatest rebounder in the game, and a member of the New World Order, Dennis Rodman. Says here the
Uh
person inducting him is Kim Jong
oh,
Un.
come on now, stop. No, wait, I'm getting word that it's gonna be one Donald J. Trump. No,
Oh gosh.
I don't know. No, I don't know who's gonna induct in the Rodman, man. Uh, maybe Tyrese Halliburton. They probably want
I
like
see
a
that.
tie-in with the NBA player, or like Jalen
He'd probably
Brunson.
do it.
Nah, Brunson's gonna be in the playoffs. Yeah, it might be Halliburton.
Yeah. Honestly, and the way Rodman is, he might induct himself.
Oh God, what's he been up to? I ain't heard from him in the last couple of years.
I have no idea. I want to say his daughter is some type of where I want
WNBA
to say
player.
she plays, yeah, maybe WNBA or like volleyball, national team, soccer, something like that.
Okay, all right. He had a
That
big
I heard.
impact during the Monday Night Wars. I'm not going to discredit that, but me personally, this would not have been my first call for a celebrity wing in the Hall of. If you're going to do the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame, the first name you should call every year is Cyndi Lauper. Shout out her. She was one of the biggest names a part of that first WrestleMania and got WrestleMania more eyes just by being a part of it and got the main event more eyes to it by being a part of the storyline with Piper and Hogan. And a lot of people discredit her impact on the rock and wrestling connection in the mid 80s, Micah, but she was a big part of that. She was a big deal in the 80s.
Yeah. I honestly I don't know why she has never, unless she just rejects it, but I don't know
Suppo-
why she never has been inducted.
Supposedly, she hasn't been asked because she has a Twitter or an X, or she did, and a fan asked her why she's not been a part of it, and she straight up said, "Well, they've never asked." That's
That's
crazy. It's
crazy.
crazy to me because they've had Mr. T in there. You figure they get
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper in there as well.
Especially over Rodman because, like, respectfully, I mean, the dude was doing it during the finals, so, like, respect, but
That was
it
crazy. Yeah,
also it also wasn't even for them, technically, it was for WCW, which I know they induct people based off their WCW accolades, but, like, how do
that's a
you
good
call
point.
it
Yeah,
Rodman and not Lauper?
that's a good point because I don't think he's ever been involved with anything in WWE. Dennis Rodman.
I don't think so either. But, shout out Dennis Rodman, I'm sure that speech will be fun,
What
and,
you think? Karl Malone gets in next year?
oh god. The only thing Karl Malone needs to be in next year is a jail cell, but
Oh man,
I digress. Um, for the immortal moment this year, we've got the Hulkster versus Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3. Uh, obviously, sadly to say, will be a only posthumous induction for both guys. And I think you said earlier they have maybe something big planned for Hogan.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see the reaction with the live audience during those segments. But yeah, man, what can you say about the WrestleMania 3 match? It's the biggest match that WWE has ever done and will ever do, and is probably the most important match in the history of professional wrestling. So yeah, well deserved. Not the greatest technical match when you watch it, but it ain't about that. It ain't about the moves there, pal. It's about the reaction that the audience gave them that night and the story they were telling, which was a simple one, but it worked. And yeah, man, you got anything to say about that WrestleMania 3 match, Mike?
No, I mean, anytime they congratulate Hogan, there will be vitriol, and I do expect that, but undeniably, it is the biggest moment in WWE history. Uh, so, despite the man Terry Bollea, the character Hulk Hogan was a superhero, and he was the guy in WWE. And yeah, I mean the body slam will always be in the open to the show, and it has such a legacy that I'm shocked that it was not the first immortal moment.
Yeah.
But we'll see if we have any immortal moments here at WrestleMania 42. We'll move to the final card. Now I say that they could add something on
Okay.
SmackDown. We will not talk about SmackDown before then. But before we get into these predictions, let me go ahead and tell you on the best way that you can watch WrestleMania this weekend, and that is joining us on TikTok Live. We will be there all weekend for WrestleMania. Make sure you come hang out with us. We're gonna have a good time. We did it last year, had a great time. Even though we were being brutally uh, beaten by Fiend over and over again in our eardrums. But we're looking towards a better WrestleMania this weekend. But come out, have a good time. Like I said, TikTok Live. We will have probably, I think WrestleMania is going to be 5 hours. It starts 5 p.m. Central for us. So we'll probably be on maybe 4:45, 4:30. Get some people in there, go from there. But come hang out, have fun. To start us off, Ryan, night one, The Vision, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight.
Oh man, that's kicking off the show, huh?
So they say.
Okay, okay, all right, that's fine. I'm going with the I Show Speed Vision pairing here by shenanigans. The I think I Show Speed gets the pin here, man.
Really?
Yeah, just for the clicks, it's gonna get a lot of clicks. But I'm sure somebody's gonna slip on a banana peel, and I Show Speed's gonna roll somebody up, and then they're gonna brutally assault them after the match. I can see that happen.
Yeah. I also think I'm going to go with the Vision and I Show Speed. I think the Vision sorely need a win, just with everything that's happened to them this year with all the injuries. And yeah, I mean with Speed, and I think the first hour's on ESPN. A lot of people are
How,
going to be watching it for him.
how is that gonna look though? How do you think he's gonna do in the ring? I Show Speed.
I think he's actually going to be excellent because
Wow,
he is super athletic, like
he is. Yeah,
crazy freak athlete. I don't know if we talked about it last week maybe, but did you see when he hurdled? I think it was LA Knight running at him. And
yeah.
like, dude, just the elevation was crazy. I think he's actually going to be really good in there.
They had a promo package where he was practicing lockups.
I saw
I don't know
that.
if you saw that on Raw, but yeah, I'm sure he's been in the lab. I'm sure he's been training. They're gonna practice this match. So when he's out there, this is gonna be a really good match,
Yeah.
and
Call me
I'm
a
sure.
slop enjoyer, but I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, we like the big boom AJs. We like when the celebrities get involved, man.
Yeah.
Call us Fed Shields. We like it.
Just keep it involved in this and not my main event segments, but we'll get there. In an unsanctioned match, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre.
Man, both guys need a win here,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
but I'll go Fatu here, and yeah, I don't think this is gonna be the best match if I'm being honest. I think this is gonna be a clash of styles.
I have the same exact feeling. This is why we do this podcast. We're on the same wavelength. I think Fatu gets the win, but I still just feel like something that Hell in a Cell took something from Drew. I don't think he's found it yet. And last year, I know they had a street fight with Damian Priest, and I didn't really care for it. And I'm afraid that this will end up much the same.
I hope they do surprise me though. Both guys are
Yeah.
capable, but it might just be a clash of styles. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get blood here. Probably won't, but I'm hoping.
Yeah. They may save it for the next night, but we'll get there as well. For the Women's World Championship, Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan.
Yeah, it's over for Stephanie. I think Liv, she's been putting in work. They gave her a music video for God's sakes, Micah. They played it throughout Raw. That banger,
They did.
Trouble. It's already on my playlist. Yeah, she's gonna win. I think Stephanie probably has to eat crow for a little bit because she has. I don't know if this is entirely her fault, but her as champion just hasn't done it for me or any of the live audience. And that spot she delivered to Liv and Roxanne a couple weeks ago, I don't think that should be rewarded. I think you gotta get the title taken off you if you're gonna hurt one of the main participants in the main event match at WrestleMania. You remember that headbutt spot she being Stephanie gave to Liv and Roxanne, Micah. You remember that?
Yeah, that was rough. I don't think we
Yeah,
talked about it, but I knew when it happened, like the noise it made. I was like, dude,
it was
that's
sick.
nasty. And Roxanne got like promptly exit stage left, like you never
Yeah.
saw her again.
You can't reward somebody for doing that. Like you gotta get the title taken off you. I'm sorry. But yeah, Liv's gonna win this, and I know I've been saying this for 2 years now, but hopefully we finally get the ending of the Judgment Day. Maybe a Roxanne turn or Raquel goes off and does her own thing. But yeah, Liv's winning this here, as she should.
Yeah.
She's been doing good stuff.
I could see, and this is kind of what I was talking about when I opened the show with like maybe what we see going towards SummerSlam. I could see a Liv versus Roxanne versus Raquel at SummerSlam to just kind of be like the final, chapter of the Judgment Day. I don't know what happens to JD, but as far as the ladies go, I think that's probably the best option. But yeah,
Future
Liv's gonna
Endeavor,
pick up the win.
like a Future Endeavor. I don't know. They
Well,
usually have those around WrestleMania time.
yeah, and then I'm sure the discourse about that'll be fun. It usually is. For the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch.
I don't think Becky needs a win here. I think AJ Lee. I think she'll continue her winning ways.
I agree. I just don't know what more they could show us that they didn't show us at Elimination Chamber.
See, I think this is where they surprise us. I can see this being. I can see this being a really good match.
I'll believe it when I see it, but I don't know. I just have not. I don't think they had a bad match at Elimination Chamber. I just don't think it blew me away. Now, obviously, you would think they would keep some in the tank for Mania, but I'll just say I got to see it to believe it. But I do think AJ retains here just because there's way more left for her to do than Becky right now. And I feel like Becky can maybe go into the main event scene as well for a little bit, get away from AJ. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
For the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, versus the Bella Twins.
Are they cleared?
They're still on the card, pal. Card subject to change.
All right. I thought Nikki was battling an injury, but if the Bellas are in this match, the Bellas are winning this match because I don't. I think that's the only reason they brought them back was to win the tag titles.
That is a good point. But I think I'm going to stick with the Irresistible Forces here.
Wow. Okay.
I think they want to give Legend the big moment. I could be wrong. Obviously, it's a feel-good moment. But you kind of get the feel-good moment sort of kind of with AJ. So I don't know. Maybe we hold a Bella Twins win off. But I'm not going to rule it out. I just think, to me, I would rather keep it on Nia and Lash, especially because Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa are baby faces. Bayley and Lyra baby faces. Bella's baby faces. And the only heel tag I can think of with the ladies right now is the Kabuki Warriors.
Nah. Well, you don't necessarily have to keep them as baby faces once they win the tag title. But Micah, they never won the tag titles. The Bella Twins. They're like one of the only during their time on the main roster. If you're gonna make a tag title, the first team that should have won that tag title would have been the Bellas. So I just think it's a match made in heaven. Don't overthink it. Just put it on the Bellas. They can lose it the next night. I don't care. Or Monday
That's
night.
you know,
Raw
you know what? I'm gonna change my answer. You're right.
WrestleMania.
The what's the word I'm looking for here? The stars are aligned for the Bellas to win this in a sense.
Yeah.
But one I really don't know who you're gonna pick here. Seth Rollins versus Gunther.
Oh man. I'm going. I think Seth has to win this one. I think Seth has to win it. Gunther's had a lot of victories over a lot of legends over the last year. So I think one loss against Seth would not hurt him. We can have a rematch at Backlash. Maybe Gunther gets his win back there. But I don't see I don't see Seth losing here. Especially if they're gonna bring Braun Breaker back and have Braun Breaker feud with Seth. You need to keep Seth at least unbeaten until Braun Breaker comes back. So I don't. I think it's Seth right here.
Well, I actually think that that's exactly why Gunther will win.
Okay.
Um, I think Braun Breaker finds a way to get involved in this, and then we get
Oh
Braun
my.
and Seth at Backlash. But I could also see, in all honesty, in my WWE Universe run that I'm doing right after Mania, that's the way I booked it. Seth wins, and then they do a rematch, and Gunther wins at Backlash because Braun returns. But I think we're expediting the Braun return, and I think Gunther's going to pick up the win here.
And Braun is not ready, man. He had that hernia surgery. That's gonna take him a while to get back.
I mean, I heard he was cleared already, though. I don't know
I
how
haven't
cleared
heard
is
that.
cleared.
I don't know, but I would assume if he was ready to go, that they would just held off on announcing that Gunther Seth match and just had the Braun Breaker Seth match. But I mean, you could be right. It's a toss up. I can see either guy winning.
In all seriousness, just as a fan, I kind of hope that Braun stays out of it because I kind of just want a clean contest to see how good of a match these two can have, and maybe we do get that great Seth match, but I do think we get the Braun involvement. And I don't think that'll be the last run in we get of the night because for the undisputed WWE Championship, and if Randy Orton loses, Pat McAfee has to leave the professional wrestling industry permanently. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton.
Yeah, poor Cody, but he's gonna have to take this L another year. He's gonna have to lose to another legend at WrestleMania because he got pinned by Rock 3 years ago or 2 years ago. He got pinned by Cena last year, and he's gonna get pinned by Randy in this match because I don't see Pat McAfee going away anytime soon, especially with the rumors out there, Micah, that we're gonna get a tag match with Pat, Randy, your favorite Jelly Roll, and Cody Rhodes at Backlash. So yeah, Randy's gonna win here, and we'll see where they go from there. I'm sure Pat gonna get involved. Maybe we get a punt kick. I wouldn't mind that punt kick from Randy to Cody.
I'll say this. I I don't love the Pat involvement. However, I think they did find a way for Randy to get booed and for Cody to get cheered. Now, maybe that's indirect and maybe it's go away heat, but I do think that they found a way to make it heel versus face because even if Randy had been the dastardly 2009 heel that we all thought he was going to be, people were still cheering him because they just don't really care for Cody like that. So, in a sense, do you think that was part of the plan, or is this just some Ari Emanuel oversight and we're not selling enough tickets?
Maybe column A, column B, probably a mixture of both.
And finally, Ryan, I predict with you as well that Randy will win. Do
Landy.
we get do we get the final boss?
Oh, in this match, um,
Are we building a super stable?
you know what? Let's do it. Why not?
Okay.
Get Rock involved. How's Ari Emanuel on the mic? Can he cut a promo?
I don't know. I'll have to find out.
Is Russo back, man? Are we sure Russo didn't get hired back here?
The
He was
GCW
talking
was
with
just a launching pad.
the JCW.
No, did I say GCW?
He did. He did. I
Uh,
don't even know if it's is
that's
it
the difference.
JPW or is it JCW? I don't know. Maybe the Tony. He was talking to Tony Khan. Maybe that was just throw us off the scent that he's really working with WWE.
Well, he was a double agent, so they
There
say.
you go. He's always willing to swerve somebody. This would be a swerve.
bro. But yeah, Randy's gonna pick up the win in the most 3-star overbooked match you've probably ever seen. But we move on to the night we're all looking towards, night 2 of WrestleMania. In the true main event, I don't care what anybody says, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. I predicted earlier. I think you got to go all the way with Oba. He has so much momentum. So I'm picking Oba here. I think the right thing will be done. And Oba gets the rocket strapped to him. He goes on a run and he eventually wins the world title at SummerSlam. And that's your next main eventer for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm not gonna say it's a non-zero chance, but I really, really hope that they would not mess this up and have Brock win. Because the only way I could see them doing something stupid like that is if they're like, well, we can run it back at Backlash and Oba can get his win. But that's not what this is about. I understand Oba has gotten the big moments every week leading up, but the moment is the win at WrestleMania. And you got to start that with a win at WrestleMania if you're going to have this guy be your figurehead for the next 10 to 15 years. I believe he's
If
27 years old. It's time. It's the youth movement. I'm not hearing people that say, oh, well, it's too early. We don't need him right now. No, we do. We sorely need some life injected into this main event scene because your two main events are CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody and Orton. All the guys are over 40. Let's get
if you
Oba
got
in there.
if you have the pin and you know Opa is gonna go over, are you booking a squash or are you booking a 10-minute back and forth power move? What are you booking?
Nah, 8-minute sprint.
8-minute sprint. You don't think a squash be more impactful?
It might would, but at the same time, you could make the 8-minute sprint fun and impactful because when Brock hits two F5s back to back and you think it's over, and Oba kicks out and hulks up and then hits a fall from grace and then hits another fall from grace and gets the pin, the place will erupt because it's the first match. It's on ESPN. It's going to get a lot of eyeballs. And I think to see Oba kind of weather the storm will just be an insane visual. Especially too when he picks Brock up for the fall from grace. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited, especially just because Oba's like my second favorite right now under Punk. And if he loses, it's going to leave a bad taste in my mouth the rest of the night.
You might turn off the show
I might end the stream right
in,
there.
in the stream.
Following
Boy,
that,
it's
we got a
out the
6
mud with the Scoop Slam podcast.
Yeah. See y'all later. Have a good weekend. Just walk out the frame. 6-pack ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Penta versus Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough versus Rusev versus Rey Mysterio.
This could be fun. I'm going Penta here though. This could be fun.
I think I'm going Javon. It may be too early. It may be a little too on the nose. Since we have kind of like a lot of other crowning achievements happening on this, because obviously we got Oba, we got another for the the US championship later on in the night. But I don't know. I think Javon is fun right now. He's got a lot of buzz. I think Penta had a good little short like transition run, but I think it's Javon's time. And yeah, I'm sure JD McDonough will probably kill himself doing something because he typically does in these big matches with ladders. But I mean, there's a lot of high flyers in here. Rusev is kind of the outlier, but I think they can make it work. I think it'll be a lot of fun, especially on the first hour that's going to be on ESPN. But following that, for the WWE
Yep.
Women's Championship, we've got Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley.
They have to do the right thing here. The right thing here is to have Jade Cargill win her first big WrestleMania match. The one she had last year was a big deal, but this one would solidify her as a main eventer for years to come. If she can beat Rhea Ripley here in this main event match, she doesn't have to beat her clean. She can have a little interference here. You haven't had at this point. I'm sure it's not going to be that much interference. Well, who am I kidding? This Triple H booking this show. Well, Jade beating Rhea regardless would be a big deal. And yeah, I think they do it. I think Jade beats Rhea in this match.
I think I'm going to swerve. I'm going to go Rhea here. And I think we're going to build to
Whoa!
Rhea and Io at
What?
SummerSlam.
Oh no! Why?
I think Jade has had it for a while, and I can't really remember anything that she's done.
It's because she got stuck in the Tiffany vortex, pal. She ain't feud
Well,
with
that's
nobody
true.
except Tiffany. She had it for
Well,
a
didn't
while.
she
That
feud
was
with
like 3
Nia
months.
for a little bit too? Am I remembering that correctly?
No, Nia's a heel.
But Jade was a babyface initially.
No, Jay's been heel
No?
against Tiffany. No,
Done the SmackDown, if I'm being completely honest. But that's what I'm saying. Like Jade to me, and I've been a big Jade fan. I just don't really know. Maybe it's the
she
Tiffany Vortex. We'll see.
yeah, Jade won the title at that Saturday night's main event they did earlier this year. She hasn't had it that long.
Really? I thought she got it at like right after SummerSlam.
Nah, Tiffany had the title for a while.
Hmm. Stand corrected. I still think I go Rhea here. I like Jade. I'm
Rhea
cool if
Hogan, huh?
Jade wins, but I don't know. Like I feel like WWE thinks Rhea's been out of the main card picture for a while. And yeah, I don't know. I feel a Rhea win. I could be wrong. I'd be glad to be wrong. I got a lot of love for Jade. But I hope I'm not wrong with this next one. We've got the WWE United States Championship match. Sami Zayn, everybody's favorite, versus Trick Williams with Lil Yachty.
Are we getting the double turn here, Micah? The rare double turn.
Oh yeah, the seeds have already been sown.
You think this is happening,
I
whether
do
they
think this
like
is
it or not?
happening. I
I don't.
think
I think the
Trick
crowd is gonna make
wins.
this happen.
Yeah, I think even if Trick comes out of Mania as a heel, we get the Dominic from last year. Trick is gonna get like cheered out of the building because he's super charismatic. Uh, and Sammy is just he's so hated right now for some reason. But I'm fine with it, man. I want Trick to be champion, and I think it's gonna be really funny when these people are like, why isn't Carmelo pushed? And then Trick has probably a better reign with it than Melo will have had.
I can see Trick winning the title and then Sammy cutting a promo on the first SmackDown after Mania and just completely loses it. Maybe Carmelo Hayes is trying to, console him in the backstage area and he just attacks Carmelo Hayes and then that's his first match as a heel at Backlash against Carmelo Hayes. I can see something
At
like that happen.
Backlash.
At Backlash. Yeah, I can see that happen.
Yeah. I think it's a good transition feud as well. But Sammy's definitely got to make the turn because at this point it's not like, oh, there's a smattering of boos, like it's the whole
Oh, it's everybody.
arena.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were
So
fighting it for a while because it didn't seem like the arena was catching on to the IWC, complaining and moaning. But now it seems the fans in the arena are not with it anymore. So
Yeah. And I think like we talked about earlier, it's that bloodline. It's just it needs a shift. Following that, the Demon, Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I just like to point out we predicted that the Demon was going to return, but nobody wants to listen to us. You know what I mean?
they're
Let
listening.
me throw that out
Somebody,
there.
or do you think we get sponsorship on the body paint Fortnite dude wipes? Who's on that? Who's on the face paint or the body paint?
Hmm, let's see.
Who they got
Or we
this
get
year?
like,
Got Snickers.
what about
Demon
like,
Valor isn't himself when he's hungry.
I like that. That's a good one. What about Real American Beer? Or hold on, what's that? What's the Conor McGregor beer? Is it like Proper 38?
Okay, yeah. Can they afford that? I don't know if they
No,
can afford that
I mean
sponsor.
they got TKO, UFC does it, the whole nine.
Okay.
You're not you and you're hungry. Never mind. That one takes the cake. I can't top that
They could
one.
do like a backstage pre-tape too, where he starts out as regular Balor and he bites into it and he turns into the demon.
It's so sad to say that this sounds like a joke, but with the current state, it could happen.
With the current state of professional wrestling all across the board.
Yeah.
Or we had a entrance last week for AEW where they had a basically a full house intro to their entrance. So anything's possible in the wild world of modern day professional wrestling.
Yeah. I think that the Demon takes this match. I think Finn has kind of had a little bit of a resurgence this year. Um, and I
He
don't
won no
think Dom
matches this year.
necessarily, well, I mean, in terms of fan engagement.
Yeah, all right.
But I don't think Dominic loses anything by losing this match. I mean, it's kind of just it kind of comes with the territory that he operates in. I'm hoping to be surprised by the match, but I feel like it'll be another 3-star.
No. This is a squash right here, pal. This is it. It'd be 2 minutes.
Think so?
Oh yeah. If it's the demon, yeah, it's 2 minutes.
That's crazy. I figured we at least
Demon,
have like 10.
nah, man, the demon squashed Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania a few years ago. Demon was OP back in the day.
So you think they're rebuilding it?
No, one off. Just something for the fans to go, ooh, that looks cool. And get some social media clicks, or farm a little bit, and it'd be a hype moment.
That's what we do here.
That's
All right,
that's
moments
what
and
we do.
aura.
That's what we do.
Is it a new era? That's the real question. But that brings us to the main event of night 2.
But wait, hold up. You asked me if it's a new era, and then you point out this match, CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I don't think, maybe not. Not just yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
not yet. Maybe next year. We got some guys on the way. But for the World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I think Punk has to do it. Punk will do it. Just because Roman isn't around like that anymore. And there's more equity in a CM Punk title reign at this point than a Roman Reigns. I think Roman has done everything with that current persona that he can do with a world title. I think now it's best that he just goes about and does dream matches and one-off feuds. I don't think he needs to be the world champion at this point. And CM Punk is still, in my opinion, wrestler of the year. He's been putting out the best promos from anybody else this year. He hasn't really wrestled this year, but when he is out there, he has some pretty good matches. So yeah, I'm going Punk here to continue his reign, and I'm making a prediction right here, Micah. I think he will come out to his old ROH theme that he came out to at that Revolution we went to. I'm
Azaria
calling it.
Canter, I think it is.
They had it in the WWE 2K game, so we know they can get access to it. So I can see that happening because it's gonna be a special moment for CM Punk too. This is his first one-on-one main event of WrestleMania. This is the main event. No night one asterisk to it. This is night two, last match on the card, one-on-one, two biggest stars in the industry. This is the main event, and I think they're gonna go all out for CM Punk's entrance. And I think he gets that. He gets that ROH thing at least like initially, and then it'll transition into the current one.
Yeah. And I'll pop big for that. I think it'll be.
You remember when they did come out there to it at that Revolution and nobody knew the lyrics to the song, and they
Oh, yeah.
panned over to that one dude that was singing his heart out and he was looking around to, to like get validation from everybody else, and
I
nobody
do
else knew the
remember
lyrics.
that. Because he was only like 5 rows down from us.
You looked over at me and you said, what song is this?" I was like, "This is old
Well,
ROH."
admittedly, I was not up to date. I had like just come back into wrestling, so I wasn't that far in the trenches yet.
But it wasn't just you, pal. Nobody else knew either.
No, but I think they will now. I think was it Raj Giri that tweeted out that thing that was like Punk coming out to something that sounds like the Terminator theme or something like that. And I've seen that just remade a million times. As far as the actual match goes, I think Punk has to win. Roman could win, but in my head theory of the next 6 months, I think Oba and Punk meeting at SummerSlam just means more because if Roman wins it here and he holds it until SummerSlam or WrestleMania, in all actuality, he's going to have like three opponents, and it's not really going to do a lot for the prestige of the championship. But Punk will be here week to week, and he will probably have 3 to 4 more challengers in 6 months that Roman would have in a year. So I just think it does more for the championship. Like you said, Punk, for my money, is wrestler of the year right now. I throw Andrade and maybe MJF in the other conversation. But if Punk can go out here and have a 4.5 star, I think he's got it locked up for the foreseeable future right now. It's obviously too early to tell. But I think they can have an excellent match. Do we get any run-ins, Ryan?
In this match, I think the Usos get involved. Maybe indirectly cost Roman the title. I can see that happening.
Do we get, and this is just some stuff I saw on Twitter. Do we get a Ethan Page, Ricky Starks
Oh
trio
man,
with Punk to maybe even the odds?
I've been seeing that out there. I don't know where it came from, but I wouldn't hate the idea because, as we know, the best CM Punk is heel CM Punk, and even better is when CM Punk has a group. So it would be cool, but I don't think those guys need to be lumped into a group together. I think they stand out on their own without having CM Punk cut promos for them.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I other than like their AEW, I guess, the fact that they were
Affiliation.
kind of packed in together. Yeah, affiliations word I'm looking for. They don't really have a whole lot in common to me. So I would just have to see how it was executed. However, I will say between now and then, Oba or Punk would have to start showing some more heel tendencies. It could work babyface versus babyface, but obviously they don't like that because initially both of these matches were babyface versus babyface, and one turned, one didn't. So I could see
But
them leaving that, but I'm not sure.
and then you could have Royce Keys be in there as well. That'd be something. Royce Keys,
Yeah,
CM Punk, Ricky Starks, Ethan Page. I don't know.
maybe
That
you
might
leave
be
Ethan
something there.
out at that point. Maybe just
Okay.
Ricky and
Just have Team
Hobbs
Taz
again.
with CM Punk, huh?
Team Taz all over again. What's the What? Dadgummit, what is it?
Get the FTW World Title out there.
Yeah, okay. No, what? There's that meme that's like, and what? Where did you find yourself? Right back to me, or something like that. But I can't think of what it is.
Oh, from Avengers.
I
That's
think it is.
yeah. That's I don't know the villain in Avengers.
I think
Don't
it's
crucify me.
Thanos, but I can't
Yeah, it
remember the
is.
like
It is
actual
Thanos.
quote.
Where did your failures lead you to? Right back to me or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
that's right.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think Punk has to take the win here. Just a quick, I don't know what word tried to come
Yeah.
out. Just
It's there.
some quick, fun categories here to hit, Ryan. What do you think will be the biggest moment that we talk about 5 years from now out of this WrestleMania?
Man, I think Oba and Brock will be looked back on as the turning point as far as the new era of main eventers in the company. And you know what? Actually, all the guys that win that night, if Javon wins, if Trick wins, if Oba wins, maybe if Jade wins, it'll just be looked at as a new era is finally here. I know Triple H gets a lot of crap online by saying a new era begins tonight. But if that happens, then it will be talked about as one of those WrestleManias where it kind of like a WrestleMania 21, where you had Cena win, Batista won, Edge won, and it just those were the guys that led the company into the next 5 years. So I can see that happen.
Yeah. I also think it'll be Oba, Brock, or I could even see like Punk winning, his first solo main event as kind of like the feather in his cap. Realistically, we've got Punk for maybe another 3 to 5 years. And in all honesty, I think this probably will be the last time that he main events. But you never know what the future holds. What do you think will be the surprising outcome of the weekend, Ryan? Maybe it's not something you predicted to happen, like maybe you predicted somebody to win, but if there was one you had to bet on that would surprise you, what do you think it would be?
Oh boy, that's tough. Maybe if Cody retained, I think that'd be the biggest surprise of the night.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
like
could see
something like
that.
a JD McDonough winning the IC title. I don't know. That's a tough
Yeah.
one.
I
The
think my
demon getting
biggest
squashed. That'd be pretty funny.
oh god, the fans would start burning the seats. I think the surprising outcome that I I want to say Oba Brock, but I think that may be a little too on the nose. I don't know. I could see, I don't want it to happen, but I could see Sammy retaining and that kind of him leaning into the heel persona and maybe a nut shot to Trick Williams. He retains the title. Again, I'm not saying I want to see it, but I
Okay.
I could see it.
I think the most surprising thing to happen, and I hope this does happen, is if The Rock gets involved in that night one main event and maybe we get a super faction with I can't believe I'm saying this, but Pat McAfee, The Rock, and Randy Orton. And then that builds up to the inevitable Cody Rhodes and The Rock match, which they've been teasing for a long time now, Micah. And who else to write a big enough check for The Rock to come out of retirement than Saudi Arabia? And you have Cody versus The Rock in Saudi Arabia at WrestleMania next year. So if Rock gets involved, that would definitely be the biggest shocker of the weekend.
Yeah. Uh, what do you think, Ryan, will be the surprisingly good match that, maybe on paper you're not looking forward to, but it may blow you away when it's over with?
I can see that AJ Lee Becky Lynch match. If that I can see that being a really good match. Call me a Fed shield, but I think Becky is better than what people give her credit for. So I think Becky and AJ Lee probably have the surprise match of the weekend.
I could see that. I could also see Fatu and Drew. I know we kind of crapped on it earlier, but sometimes when everything sounds wrong, it just becomes right. So maybe they go out there and just have a barn burner. I could be wrong. I probably will be wrong, but it could be good. We'll see what happens. Ryan, what do you think will be the worst match of the weekend?
Oh boy, absolute
Actually,
stinker. I hate. Oh yeah,
I would like to change my answer from Fatu and Drew. I think it's going to be the speed match.
yeah. I can see that Rhea and Jade match being pretty good too.
Yeah, I think people are going to go in low expectations with that one as well.
She's done that before. Rhea has low expectation for a match at Mania and then deliver classics. So that could
Yeah.
happen. Speed match, yeah, I would. I think that will be a good match actually. But
Yeah.
what was the next category you about to say?
The worst match. Your prediction for
Oh
worst
man,
match?
uh, can I say this? Cody and Randy. I think that's gonna be probably the worst match.
Oh man.
Am I just being pessimistic? I've been let down by Randy Orton matches for a very long time now, Micah. I'll never
Yeah.
forget what he did to my goat Bray Wyatt. I will never forgive him for that. An absolute stinker. And he beat Bray Wyatt for the WWE title too, Micah.
Randy just doesn't show up at Mania. I don't know what it is.
Just takes that night off. And I heard a story today. I think it was from Fightful. I don't know what the exact source was. So take it with a grain of salt, everybody. We are not reporting this here, but Randy is dealing with an injury going into WrestleMania.
It's sad too, but I'm telling you right now, the match that I had for worst match was Cody versus Randy. Randy's too much of a red herring at WrestleMania, man. He
Do you
never is good there.
remember we thought Cena and Cody was the worst match of last year's WrestleMania, so it's not out the
Yeah,
realm of possibility.
I'm saying 3-star general, man. You can pencil him
Yeah,
in. He's gonna get 3 stars, and that's it.
but they
And
might overbook
Ryan,
it.
oh yeah, they're going to. And for the best match of the weekend, and then we'll send it home, Ryan. What is your pick?
Of the whole weekend, is my favorite match or this is just the best match?
What you think will be the best? Well, we can
I
do
think
both.
I think CM Punk and Roman Reigns gonna have the best match.
Maybe I'm biased, but I do feel the same because Roman
Oh wow,
shows up for the big matches,
yeah,
and Punk is. I mean, Punk's Punk, man. You can't go
yeah,
wrong with him. Now, what I think will be my favorite match could be the Punk versus Roman match, or it could be Oba versus Brock, depending on how they do it. Or it could be that six-pack ladder match. I'm very interested to see how that turns out.
yeah. Ladder matches are hit or miss nowadays because it just feels like they've done everything. So we'll see. But yeah, I think this WrestleMania on paper looks better than last year's did. WrestleMania did on paper. So maybe the build hasn't been the best, but when the bell rings for the first match, the speed match, I'm gonna be hyped up. It's WrestleMania.
Well, we can't play that sick WrestleMania 10 outro to send you guys home with, but make sure you take care of yourself, pace yourself over the weekend. There's a lot of wrestling. We've done a lot of recording and talking, so if you can tell, we're getting a little long-winded too. But we're gonna refresh up over tomorrow. Come back, join us TikTok live, 4:30 to 5 o'clock. We've got WrestleMania Saturday. Then we'll be back the next night on TikTok live, 4:30 to 5 for WrestleMania Sunday. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the biggest week of wrestling. And have a good one.